Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we'll learn how we can modify the previous LED chasing program with a shorter version of code. So let's get started. Before going into the program, let me introduce the concept of for loop and while loop. For loop is a programming component that can make statements go iteratively executed. Like here, when we use for loop, we first need to write for, then within the bracket, first of all, we need to initialize a variable like integer I is equal to 1. It could be any variable like integer A, B, C or anything you want. Then we need to put a condition for which the loop will execute. So let's say I is equal to 1. 1 is less than 5. So for this term, it will execute the loop. Then after execution, it will come again into this spot and it will increment the value of I by 1. After incrementing, it will again test the logic if the logic is true. After first execution, I will be 1 plus 1, that is I will be equal to 2 and 2 is less than 5 and it will again enter the loop statements. In this manner, it will go on until I becomes 5. So 5 is less than 5. It's not true statement or true condition. For that reason, it will exit the for loop and come to the next statement. So in this manner, for loop works. All the conditions, the initialization and increments, these are also present in while loop structure. See here, first of all, we need to initialize the while loop variable. Then we need to put a condition in between the first brackets. And at the end of the while loop, we need to introduce the increment. Both works the same way. So let's see how we can use for loop to make our code more efficient and shorter. We'll start from here. In the previous program, we have used pin mode command 5 times for defining the pins as output. We can make it short by using for loop. Notice here the pin mode becomes from 2 and go up to 6. So remember this, we'll make a for loop to make this code shorter. For integer I, and I will start from 2 because our starting value is 2, and I will go for equal or less than 6 because the last value is 6, and I will be incremented by 1 each time. Then we need to give the command that we want to do repeatedly within the loop, I output. So now we can erase these codes and all the functionalities of the previous codes will be executed with this 3 line of code. I hope you got the idea how to use for loop. In the same manner, we can do for turning on sequence. So let me introduce a for loop here. So for the first value is 2 and last value is 6 as previous, integer I equal to 2, I less or equals 6, I plus plus. And what we want to do repeatedly, we want to make digital write to pin number I and make it high. And then we want to make a delay. Delay should be for 500 milliseconds. And it will keep doing this until I reaches the value of 6. So within this 3 line of code, we can replace this 10 line of code. In the same manner, we can replace this 10 line of code with another for loop. But remember, in this case, the sequence of value start from 6 to 2. So it will go downwards. Remember that. So let's start I with 6 and it will be greater or equal to 2 and I will be decremented. And each time the loop iterates, it will make the I value, that is the pin number, low. So you can see with this for loop structure, we can reduce all those codes within this simple line of codes. So let's see if the functionality is same as previous. So you can see the code works the same, but this time our code is more modified, more efficient, and more shorter than the previous ones. So see you in the next video. In the next video, we'll do some more fun experiment with LEDs. Thank you.